every morning when you wake up, do you choose your preferred reality, or do you just wait and see what's going to happen around you and how you feel, how that's going to make you feel, I mean? Or do you wake up and consciously program yourself, see all the beauty so that's all around you, and be grateful for that, consciously be grateful for what's happening in your life. The beauty of doing that is that you will start to experience more and more situations that are going to reflect that preferred state of being. But it all starts with you. It starts with, before you even put your feet out of that bed, think about how you want your day to be. How is that preferred you going to move through that day? How is that preferred you going to do their shopping today? How is that preferred you going to dress up that day? In what kind of house is that preferred you living? What kind of car is that preferred you driving? What kind of life is that preferred you living? Those are all the things I do, consciously do, and did for the last 30 years. My life really started to change when I was about 19 years of age. Before that time, my life was tough. It wasn't easy growing up for me because I never fit in with anything, with anybody. I could be in a group and still be alone. I always felt like I was the weirdo. I was the alien between all these people because everything they liked, I really didn't like it. I always had different ideas about things. I was always questioning everybody, everything. So I remember like teachers, and they found me pretty annoying because they all translated that as that me having an attitude problem. Because if they told me like do this, I always used to go like, why do you want me to do that, or what's the reason behind that? So I never really fitted into that matrix kind of program, what they're creating all around us, going to school and all that kind of stuff. I was one of these typical school dropouts. I've been kicked out of every school, to be honest. It started already when I was about 4 years old. I was kicked out of kindergarten, just because they thought I was hard to handle, which wasn't totally true. I was just a young boy with lots of energy and eager for life. I wanted to know everything, and that was just translated into me being a hard case. Now I totally understand all this had to happen because that gave me the experiences that I needed to have to be and to live the life that I like, to be who I am now, and to live the life that I was living, that I'm living now. I mean, I think I worked for an employer for one day because I could not work for an employer. It was so tough for me, people telling me what to do. And for example, knowing like, oh, this you're gonna make this kind of money this year, and if you work really hard, and next year you're probably gonna make a little bit more. That was totally not inspiring for me. So I always worked, did like things like I was doing on commission, working on commission only. So the more effort I put into something, the more I was earning. And my big change, I remember my big change came when I was like 19. I came in contact with books about self-development and realizing that I was a magical being, all this kind of stuff. And that really kickstarted my life, because before that time, I had so low self-esteem. My self-esteem was really low because everybody was always telling me I was a problem kid and nothing would come of my life. I'd probably be a bum because I didn't finish my school, etc., etc., etc. And I remember I started to read all these self-development books and started to really practice what they were preaching in those books. And my life started to shift big time. It really started to shift. And that was the beginning of my journey. Now this all really I talked about this before, but this really get accelerated. Now we're talking about 15 years later or something. I started to change my diet because I was getting like all kinds of health problems. And I remember I was going to the Chinese doctor, and they diagnosed me, and they looked at my tongue, and they felt my wrist, and they were telling me, wow, much too much coffee, fried foods, and meats, and just what everybody eats. I mean, what we all love to eat. So that really woke me up. I never made the connection about how you feel, what's happening in your body, and what are you eating. I never made that connection. I mean, you try to go to a doctor and try to walk away without getting a prescription for some medicines. They never ask me, what do you eat? So that really kickstarted that consciousness. And I remember I was going vegetarian in the beginning. And my wife, she made me some, she said, let's make something vegetarian. And I remember she made like a vegetarian pasta with fresh tomatoes and fresh herbs and basil and garlic in the oven, and it was just so good that I was like, wow, if this is vegetarian food, I can do this. I love this. So that was the beginning. And so that really accelerated a lot. I started to feel much better, and health was going better. It wasn't all going away, my health issues. But I remember years later, probably 5-6 years later, I came in contact with Living Foods. And the Living Foods really kickstarted a whole new reality into my life. I've been talking about this before, guys. Don't underestimate the Living Foods. It's a big thing. Like, for example, if I have a piece of pasta and I put that piece of pasta on the ground, what will happen? Well, nothing will happen, basically. You know, we'll just get moldy, I think. But when I put an apple in the ground, or an orange, it contains seeds. So there's life in there. There's a life force. And probably a little plant will grow out of there, and if you're lucky, it turns into a tree. So when we start to eat these foods, we get into what I call the cycle of life. And entering the cycle of life, I mean, you can give this different names. You can call it universe, you can call it God. You know, you can call it anything you want to call it. But if we look around us and we look at nature, look at it. I mean, we cannot say that that's not like pure abundance and it's pure perfection, and it's all moving towards more life. It's creating life. So when we start to live that way, we tap into that energy. And I remember things just start to shift. I had to walk that path. And in one way it's so easy, but it's so difficult. I noticed because through the years I've been inspiring a lot of people, and I had a lot of people coming to me and asking me to help them do these transitions. And I noticed that for some people it can be a tough thing to do that. Because all these patterns, they are so much, they're so engraved into our behaviors, So in the beginning, you really need that. You need that little bit of, you need that willpower. You need that warrior attitude. But the beauty of it is that your body will start to recognize these high five foods so quickly, and you will start to feel so much better, and you will start to notice that like you're getting all these kind of synchronicities in your life. It starts to rain, but this is tropical rain, so it's good. I mean, it's warm and it's nice. Let's take a little bit of cocoa water. guys, I got so much love for this lifestyle. I got so much love for it. I just want to share it with everybody because I know when you get yourself together and you dive into that warrior attitude and you get that willpower. Like I said, your body recognizes it so quickly that when you fall back into low vibe foods, which you will do, you will do that because these old patterns, these behavior patterns they can be pretty stubborn. So you will fall back and you do some low vibe stuff, but it will really feel like falling back. It will really feel like low vibe stuff. You feel your energy just going down, boom. Your connection with source going down, boom, quickly. So to me, that was like an enormous motivation to go on. And it even resulted me being so sensitive that I feel energy everywhere. I can touch trees, feel the energy. When I'm around people, they don't even have to talk to me, and I can just sense what's behind what they are saying. I can read their energy. It even came to the point that I feel so strongly connected with the energy that's around me. I can connect with ascended masters. I can connect with angels. And this wasn't like that before. I mean, I come from a pretty background of smoking a lot of weed in my life. I've been smoking so much weed, guys. Oh my God. I think I smelled like a weed tree. I used to smoke from the morning till the night for many, many, many years. I did that. I think for about 20 years. And this was all because I'm just such a sensitive guy, and it was just what we call reality. It was just hard for me. It was hard to deal with it. And since I changed into this lifestyle, I just feel high all day. I don't need to do that anymore. I don't have to change my consciousness because that's basically what it is. It's not about smoking the weed. It's not about drinking the alcohol. It's about that state of consciousness that people desire. They desire that feeling of feeling comfortable. And now they need something else to provide that for them. And they do it through alcohol and all kinds of other drugs. And I remember me a couple of years ago, I thought, wow, let's try some weed again. So I didn't smoke it because I don't want to smoke anymore. So I made like a chocolate smoothie with weed in it, which you can do. I just put it in the blender. I made it, but actually, it didn't feel like an upper. It felt like a downer. Directly, I didn't feel connected anymore with all the energies around me. So I noticed that the lighter you eat, the more light you eat, because that's what happens when you are eating sun foods, when you're consuming the living plant foods, and especially the fruits. The fruits are so high vibrational. When you consume them, you just feel so light. You feel connected, guys, and you cannot just walk around. You cannot not walk around with a smile on your face. You just feel good all the time. I just felt that I wanted to share this, and I probably will be doing this kind of videos when I feel like it. Just to share, because it really is my intention and my dream that the world knows this, and it's all good. I'm not judging anybody for eating meat or all this other kind of stuff. I did it all my life, and that's all good. We all got our journey, but there is a whole other reality out there. There is a whole other world out there. But you will only know when you start walking this path. You have to dive into it. Otherwise, it will just be a good story. And, I just want to say, guys, where I come from, I was one of these boys that people thought, oh, this boy is just gonna be one waste of space. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm living through abundance now. True abundance on all levels: physical, spiritual, financial, pure abundance. And to me, that's all connected to that lifestyle. That was the accelerator, that was the amplifier. So yeah, just want to share that, and I'll see you soon, guys. One love.